Hello, everybody. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Snow Wolf. I have you both on the list. I'm gonna add people on the list as we go here. Sorry, I just woke up. I took a little quick nap. I just suddenly got tired about an hour ago. Laid down, set my alarm. Today's Oracle card day. Yay. I like doing the Oracle cards. Hey, Marby. Hope all is well. Everybody's coming in a bit here. Got my jumbo cup of coffee here. Okay. Take me a minute to get all the way awake. I took a real quick power nap. I needed it. Okay, let's do a reading for the collective. Let me grab a deck here. We're gonna put that I haven't used in a while here. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. It is freezing here in California today. As you can see, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. We got rain this morning and it's in the 60s. It's like 52 this morning. And we've been up in the 80s, so that big drop in temperature always makes me cold. But the wind's blowing, it's pretty out, and we're supposed to get more rain this afternoon. Now that we got all the weeds down in the front yard, just in time to re-water them. Okay. Doing the collective reading. Okay, the underlying card of this reading is going to be judgment. I think is how we're feeling about our government right now. We have the Empress. That's us keeping our faith as we're moving into this. The Empress is always full of pregnant with all kinds of new possibilities. I think that's very true too. We have concepts of how we want this country to look moving forward. We have strength. We're going to get through this as a collective. We are going to get through this, and we are going to make the changes that it takes to move forward in a more positive way. One of them is getting control of the House and the Senate and all that. And we are willing to charge forwards. We have the Knight of Wands. So we are taking actions to get changes up moving. So we're not that far out from elections now, this coming November. And with everything going on, there's going to have to be dramatic changes if the GOP thinks they have a chance to win any of their elections, as long as they're not doing anything for the people of the country, but racking up more and more debt and causing financial difficulties around the U.S. as well as around the world. I think that's going to be very reflective of what we're getting. We're coming into this season, right, or into this reading right now with the Two of Swords. There's options to be made, and we're waiting for the right decisions to be made. And we're standing in our truth on what we want. We're not supportive of what's going on, this war, all the rhetoric that's going on. So we are waiting for some resolution, some positive movement into a positive forward movement. He does have options, but I don't think Trump is in his right mind, and I don't think he has enough common sense to make those decisions. The center of the reading, we have the Knight of Cups. This is a slow moving knight, but this is abundance. It's emotion, abundance. It's and he can be considered that false knight, moving in. Yeah, things are moving slowly. He's trying to sell this is all good, and it's everything's hunky-dory. It's as he's telling us, he's cutting everything, but there's no money allowed to go anywhere. It's crossed by the devil, of course it is. And that this is representative of the Trump administration, their energy, that greed and avarice that's going on, the addictions, his instability. He's trying to control not only the United States, but the entirety of the world. And that's what's crossing us. Above this, we, the people, I think, are going to have victory. Victory in the elections coming, a victory in the energy that we're putting forward to make change and to get a lot of change going on. So, let's trust in that energy that we will come out on top before it's over. We, the voters, are going to have the right to vote. I think there's going to be a lot of conflicts as the Democrats make a big sweep on elections. There's going to be a lot of controversy, a lot of them not wanting to accept the election outcomes. But I think the elections are going to be, the margins are going to be so big. It's too big to rig. And they will do the recounts, and the margins will be so large that there's just no way it could be a steal, because they have the actual ballots that they're going to be counting. So underneath that is the emperor. The emperor is trying to keep control of this, but notice he's coming in the down under, and he's falling under that devil, crossing everything. I do think that our emperor is going to fall, and very soon. As we move forward, we need to stay temperate. We need to stay in balance, find our balance, take care of ourselves, take care of our health, put all of our energy into that positive thinking, that positive energy moving forward, and taking care of our needs, focusing on what we need to do in the now every day, rather than looking at overwhelming ourselves with the fear of what's coming next. The sky is falling. The sky is not falling. We will get control of our country and our assets. And the world leaders know that Donald Trump is nuts. He is, he's a laughing stock, and but they're not blaming Americans ourselves, and that we clearly are not backing him with the amount of protests that we have going on in this country. They know that this is not what the American people want. This is what the lunacy of a madman wants. The atmosphere right now, the way we're feeling is we're feeling like we're under the moon. We're howling at the moon. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we aren't even aware of. They're not being brought to our attention until they take ludicrous action. And that's making us feel unstable, and that feeling of being left out in the cold with the Five of Cups, because we really are. Everything that's happening right now is not happening within our control. Almost like I'm adding you on the list. The advice from Spirit is the Chariot. We are riding the Chariot. We're driving the Chariot. We need to show up for the elections. We need to show up and vote when it's time to vote. Do your homework on your candidates. Make sure that you understand who you're voting for, what parties they are in. How did they just change parties? Are they Republican that just jumped on the Democratic ticket, etc.? Really watch your candidates as you're making your decisions, as you're moving forward. And the final outcome of this is we will have we will find our stability. We get the 10 of Pentacles. So once we get through this cycle, get out of this war and all that, we will find our financial stability and bring that financial stability back to the United States. It's going to take a while, though. Everything is not going to be instantaneous. It's going to take a while. We are going to see worse before we see better. And that's not because I'm trying to fear monger. It's just the reality of it. You know, even once he is out of office and starts moving, we start moving in a new direction and we get new legislation in and all that. It's going to take a while to rebuild that. Hello. Yes, this is the collective reading. I'm adding to the list NATO Makaya. Okay, I like that name. Anyways, it's going to take a while. Things are going to get tested. We are going to get through this. Like I said, you need to start, don't go out and major shopping like mad people like the whole it's the end of the world. It's not. Just pick up a few extra items along the way. If you have a little land or a patio or just a small space, or a flower bed that's cleared out, plant a small garden of things that you normally eat. They can be onions, garlic, things like that, potatoes. I mean, you can grow potatoes in just a bag with soil. Just buy a bag of soil and punch holes on the sides and put your potato eyes, your starts in it. You can get 50 to 100 pounds of potatoes out of a great big bag of soil. And you don't even have to, break earth to do it. You can do sweet potatoes that way too. They're very easy to do that. Just make sure you have good drainage and good quality garden soil, and you can take your potatoes and cut them where the eyes are and stick them in the sides of the bags, and it'll make a beautiful plant. And when you go to harvest them, you just open the side of the bag and they'll be there. Shake off the dirt and clean them up, and they're ready to go. Carrots, very easy to grow in beds. If you grow them in small, like raised beds, you need to make sure you have 8 to 12 inches of soil, because carrots need a place to stretch their legs. And they like a loomy soil. So you don't want it hard dirt, because it's gonna choke the carrots. Celery, radishes. If you have a shady spot in your yard, I live in California, so it gets hot here in the summer. I grow my herbs in the shade in indirect sun, because they burn up if I don't. So, but you can grow your own herbs and stuff like that. It saves you a ton of money. Even just a small little resource of garden's going to save you money, and it's going to give you nutrition. I always say, if you're gonna plant, do you buy non-GMO seeds? You don't want the modified seeds, because they will not regenerate seeds. You want to buy the heirloom seeds so that you can harvest the seeds as well as the produce. Plus, they taste better and they're more nutrients rich. Hey, Brenda. Hi, Gerald. Trinson, I'll get you both on here. Okay. I managed to catch your show today too, Brenda. Thank you for the reading. I know I came in late. I laid down and took a nap for about an hour to try to refresh myself. Okay. Anyways, we're going to start our readings, and looks like so far I have 7 in the room. I'm going to bounce it back and forth between the live stream and my list so that I can catch people coming in. First up is Tammy Bambi. Hey, sweetheart, how are you doing? I hope everything's going well for you today. Okay, we're doing oracle cards today. I'm going to pull this whole thing. I only have a small group that I haven't read out of, but I'm going to go ahead and do a shuffle on these really quick. These cards, I can't shuffle them. They're so large and very stiff. Sort of stack shuffle them. Okay. These are the postcards from heaven. Or postcards from spirit. Spirit, heaven. Same direction. Okay. And we're also reading the Soul Truth cards today. Soulful Women cards. And I just cut the decks on these. They're the cards I've read in a box. Okay, and I'm going to introduce a new deck in on these. Well, I've had them for a long time, but these are the archetype decks, and these are cards that reflect different personality traits about us. And for example, we've got me. I just grab one for Tammy. This one's called the Shapeshifter card. And these are aspects of our personalities, both in the positive and the negative forms, that describes maybe something we need to work on in our life, or how we're functioning through life that's representative of our energy. For example, this Shapeshifter one for Tammy says, the light attributes. This is the positive side of this card. The archetypal card of this is you have skills of navigating through difficult levels of consciousness and the ability to see potential in everything. That's the positive side. The shadow side of this card is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in that moment. So you may not be projecting things in a positive way. You may be projecting things negatively that would not be as fulfilling to you as others. So anyways, that's what you get. The Shapeshifter cards, that could be like a delusion of trying to get people to see you not for what you want them to see rather than what you actually represent. But I think the lighter side of this card is more reflective of you, the skills of navigating through difficult levels of consciousness and the ability to see potential in everything, because you're working in that light right now. So you have the ability to project out what you're wanting to get out of life. The surrender card I pulled for you is surrender to fear of intimacy. And it says, you are ready to let love in, compassionately identify, and begin to release any patterns that stopped you from opening your heart. So it's time to get serious there, girl. And from the Soulful Woman, you get enlightenment power. I am choosing the power of my own consciousness and the vehicle for my growth. So you're driving that chariot, girl, and allowing yourself to grow and develop. I love that. And then the Soul Truth, the question you should be asking yourself today is, on whom am I placing blame right now? A person who blames other has not begun their lesson. A person who blames himself has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson. Today's soul action. Take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself from releasing all the victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage lives there. Make a choice to do it. And even if you don't feel ready, listen to your heart and you will be led. So that's an interesting card. And then the postcards from Spirit says, you are loved. Dearest you, do you ever wonder whether your ideas or inspirations might be coming through your soul rather than generated from your mind alone? We are here to tell you that we're always whispering in your ear about the highest good. We are conduits. We are conduits for spirit, letting you know that you are a living channel for the awesome co-creation of energy. When you're feeling inspired, it means you've heard us. Inspiration means spirit is breathing through you. Inspiration needs your human passion to keep it going so you can make a difference in the world. So keep moving on what inspires you. Let yourself be led into new experiences and know that this is why you are on earth. Your purpose is to discover your spirit, nature, and bring forth through your efforts whatever is meant to be. Wondrous miracles have a way of showing up when you let inspiration propel you forward. You are so loved. So I like that card. That's interesting. And next up is Snow Wolf. Your archetypal card that came up for you is the Samaritan. The light attributes says it refines your capacity to help those who prefer to ignore. And the shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Okay. Your surrender card says surrender denial. Accept people in a situation exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. Soulful Women says inner well springs. I have inner well springs of love and luxurious overflows with abundance. In the soul truth, you need to ask yourself, what if it isn't true? The things you are telling yourself right now, the concrete, the reason why you think you don't belong or you can't do it, you won't get there, you're not enough, or it's not for you. What if it isn't true? Today's soul action, it says it's time for your soul, for a soul chat. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask the wise one within, what if it isn't true? What else might be possible? Journal your answer. What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? And then the postcard from Spirit says, with love. Dearest you, selflessness giving is an elixir so sweet and life-saving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness for someone for no other reason than as an exercise of the heart. You'll be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. You know, it often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life has been uncanny way of spinning miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness. Let the interconnect it in magical ways. Okay. The more you act from generosity, the bigger the heart grows, and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. Okay. So blessings to you, Snowball. And next up is looking to see if anybody else has come into the room. Okay. Next up is Marby. Well, your archetype card is the Divine Child and the light attribute. Innocence, purity, redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. And the shadow side is inability to defend oneself against negative forces. So that's that childlike behavior where, you know, everybody else is an adult around you and you know, you're fighting that energy of that negativeness that might come towards you. I know this is something you've been working on, is standing up in that energy and saying no. and not carrying other people's needs. So I think you're working in that light attribute, the innocence and purity of redemption. And you're using that special connection with the divine to make those decisions at this point in time. Interesting. Surrender to frustration. It says frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or resolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. I like that. Beautiful card. And in the Soulful Women, it's the power of self-talk. With my self-talk is kinder. I'm empowered in my own capacity to pursue my dreams and believe in myself. Love that card. I think that's a great piece of advice. Give yourself those great pep types. What am I most afraid of losing? This is the soul truth. It says, as we grow, change, and transform our life, it requires us to let go of something that was, to make room for something that will be. If you were to take the big leap today, would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belongings? What if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible for you to lose any of those things because you have the power to get anything? No. Because you have the power to give anything you need to yourself. Today's soul action. Name that fear that looks worst case scenario. Find a solution and take the power back by being certain of who you are and where you are going. Today's mantra. I move forward knowing I am powerful beyond measure. I am loved, I am safe, and I belong. So this is your empowering yourself. And your message from spirits comes under the heading of celebrate life. Dearest you need to know that it can change things miraculously for you and everyone and makes things right. It's never too late. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burdens of old stories, one in which you were a victim or someone else's actions or your own. You don't need to carry this around. You can set yourself free. Even advocating for good because of this experience requires your forgiveness to be effective. Forgiveness is never about condoning things that were done. It is about letting yourself off the hook for carrying those burdens. Resentment and hurt are like a virus that spread to others, and that is the opposite of what you really desire, right? It's opposite of what you really desire, right? Excuse me. Imagine what your life would be like without the burdens that you carry when you do not forgive. You can do it. Everyone here believes in you and adores you. Now, this is something that took me into my 50s to be able to do. I was an abused child. I got all the counseling. I did all the work, went through all the releasings. But the one thing I never could figure out is how to forgive, because I was looking at forgiveness as condoning. And after I retired and I moved in the house and I was meditating one morning, it dawned on me. I was carrying around this other person's burden of what they did to me based on the abuse that they had endured as a child themselves. And that's when I figured I could forgive. I wasn't condoning what they had done to me. I was forgiving him for not having dealt with his own grief and having it carried over and repeating that grief to me. And I sent it back to who it belonged to. That person needs to carry their own grief, and it wasn't mine to carry anymore. I didn't seek out what had happened to me. I was a victim of his inability of taking care of his own grief, and I was to use it as an outlet for him to transfer that grief to me. So I let that go, and it was like taking 100-pound weight off my shoulder. I no longer feel like I'm a victim of somebody else's. Um, I will not carry that guilt, that burden with me. It's not mine to carry. And that's a free will choice, is to get the help you need, work on fixing yourself, healing yourself past whatever's happened to you in your life, rather than carry the burden of that keeping you down all your life. Once you learn to send that back to the person that sent it to you to carry that shame and guilt, once you send that back, it frees you and it allows you allow yourself to live for you and not carrying the burdens of others on your back. So that is just something that it took me a long time to wrap my head around, that ability to forgive, that kind of thing. So blessings to you all. And I hope everybody has it in their heart to forgive. Because it's not saying you're condoning what somebody did to you to make you feel awful and carry that burden, that weight. It is releasing yourself so that you allow yourself to move forward in life. And that is really, really important for all of us. Okay. I'm just double checking the list here. Okay. And Malsilk. I hope everything is going well. These cards are really stiff. Okay, the archetype card that I pulled for you today is the monk or the nun. It says the lighter attributes is self-devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. The shadow side is negative judgments of the physical world, excess petty. I don't think you're I think you're more the nun type. You're connected to your spiritual self. That single-minded devotion to spirit. You're wanting to connect to spirit for the better good of everybody around you. That is that purity side of you, that connection with the divine, making decisions. You know, of course, we never should be in judgment of others in this physical world, or look at things in a petty direction. So it's funny. The next card is surrender to prayer. So it says, give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and answers and support will arrive. Remember, prayer is not a thing for begging. Prayer is asking for direction and enlightenment from God. It's focused on, please direct me to, please help me achieve. It's an ask. It's a connection with the divine. It's an ask for guidance. Cutting a deal with God, I don't think counts as if you just do this, I'll give you this for the. Yeah, it's not a let's make a deal thing. It's a connection with, asking for that faith that you will be led in the right direction. So I am not a minister. That's just the way I look at prayer. It's not something to be begging for things. It's an ask to be led in the right direction. It's talking to your guides. It's talking to the higher divine. It's asking for an answer, inspiration to get you to help you get where you need to take yourself. Okay, the Soulful Women, Uniquely Myself is the card. And it says, I trust in who I am is perfect for my unique journey and soul path. I love that. So trust in yourself. You are here meeting your goals. The soul truth, the question they want you to ask yourself today is, what is the boundaries needed to be created or strengthened in my relationship? It says, create more healthy boundaries. We must first get in tune with what our own needs, desires, and feelings, and believe that we are worthy of them. And in your relationships, it's essential to know where they end and where they begin. Today's soul action. When we are separate, our energies, when we are separate, our energies from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Then we stop doing the things that no longer align in our lot with yourself. If you are an empath, you can still be compassionate towards other without taking on their stuff. Sometimes that's difficult too, because a lot of us empaths, we need to learn how to differentiate their energy from our energy. So that if you are empathic and somebody's in pain, recognize it's their pain, not your pain. You do not have to take that on. Anyways, back to the card. Oh yeah. If you're an empath, you can still be compassionate towards other without taking on their stuff. It is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. You're here to fix yourself. I know some people get involved with other people's life and then they take on all their issues too much. We need to be very careful of one thing to help somebody, it's another thing to start living through their actions. Okay, today's mantra is, I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what is best for me. But don't allow yourself to cross the line and get sucked into everybody else's problems and taking on that energy as if it's yours. And the message from Spirit, celebrate life. It says, dearest wonderful you help you manifest a little of the highest good. We invite you to examine your deepest desires. Imagine all your dreams and desires, no matter what kind, like magic seed pulls in a basket, glowing with infinite potential. Look closely at each one. They're afraid that someone may bring you too much attention and invite negative reactions from others. Is change too daunting? Are you afraid to stretch out and grow? Let yourself be led forward and let the seeds of positive intentions take you to the wind. Your desires count and you are worthy of them. They are essential for your co-creating the world. Do you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways that you can't possibly know. We know you and love you so deeply. We are so happy to support you. So, seems like all these cards are around you setting your own boundaries. You're taking care of yourself. You're seeing your self-importance over others and empowering yourself to heal and to achieve what you feel you deserve, rather than focusing on other people's needs and other people's energy. So I like those cards. I think it's a really great message. Okay. I hope that is helpful. And this is the new person. It's Nita Makaya, I guess is how you would say it. And let's see. On Sundays, I always do oracle readings just to let you know how I work. On Saturdays, I do tarot readings, and if you have questions, then I do for $5. I'll do 5-card readings with the extended cards, whatever's underlying, and so on. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, join our group. We're a good group of people here. See if I get everything. Okay. Your archetype card that came up for you is Scribe. Do you like to write? It's a Scribe card. It says the light attribution is preserving knowledge and information, like journaling or, archiving information, learning. The shadow of the attribute is altering the facts, plagiarism, using the work of others. So I always say I always work in the higher good. So work in the light of this. If you like to journal, I highly encourage anybody to journal. It's a great way to release information, to get to know your inner self, and to work on any inner conflicts you may have. The surrender card that came up for you is surrender to the idea you can fix someone. You're not here to fix anyone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work when you try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So, if you go into a relationship where you've got to change everything about them to make it work, you're in the wrong relationship. And if you go into a relationship where you help somebody achieve their goals because they have that inspiration, you're willing to help them achieve their goals, you're working together with this, there's a difference. Okay, from the women, Soulful Women, you get Princess Charming. It says, I take the horse by the reins and become my own Princess Charming, taking care of my own needs. So I love that. I love the art on these cards, and that beautiful artist it does such a beautiful work. I only got 2 cards from soldiers. That's unusual. I usually don't get 2. On the first card that comes up, it says, I am on the right path. Am I on the right path? Question mark. It says, sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we're even on the right path at all. Know this, you are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering that you made a soul's contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see that, it doesn't mean that it is not real. And we are born into this life with a contract that we make long before we come up. Unfortunately, we aren't given the gifts of the list of what we're wanting to achieve in this life. We have to discover it. We are always on our soul path. Now we have free will that affects that. And if we veer off our soul path a little bit, it will always automatically correct us and get us back into the correct area. Okay, it says, today's soul action. Today, search all the ways that you are in line with your soul's purpose. The sign will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next step. And I would say I would go right back to that scribe card. This is a good thing to journal about. Make a list of things that you want to achieve and directions you want to go, and things that are in your goal. Those are also path items. And then look at it and ask yourself, what do you need to do to get there? How can you achieve this? Make a plan, set some, define direction on how you want to take steps to do that achievement. I have this feeling you may be a person that really does like to journal, likes to write and put things down and work things out on paper. It's a wonderful way to get in touch with your subconscious self, your higher self, and tap into that energy of where it is. I like to journal back and say, what have I gone through and what have I learned on the way? Because once you learn a lesson, you tend not to repeat it again and again and again. But you do need to take the time to give yourself gratitude on your achievements, because we don't always stop and look to see where we came from and how far we've came and how many things we've overcome in our lifetime, especially those of us that are hitting our upper years. It just seems like now, gosh, it's just yesterday when I was a child. And yet I've had a couple of careers. I've done 10 years of college. But look at all the hard work you put in to get from there to where you are now, what you've achieved, because we don't always acknowledge our own achievements. We always see everybody else doing great. And we're sitting back just observing life happening, but we really aren't. We are part of life and part of what's moving forward. So I highly encourage journaling. Okay. The next card, it wants you to ask, what can I burn? Don't be an arsonist. It says, burn it all. This ugly lies in plain. This ugly lies, the plan, the shame, the criticism, the images that run through your head, and remember, and the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you're not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It's time for rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You are free. Your wings are ready to use them. This is part of that journaling. By doing that journaling and acknowledging where you came from and where you are now, allows you to burn these bridges. And I don't think it's like set the house on fire burning. This is severing severing the ties of old messages and the way you perceive yourself by acknowledging your achievements and the fact that you have learned those lessons, you've got past that, and you're not carrying those stories about yourself anymore because they're no longer you anymore. You have outgrown the old messages. So I like this. Today's soul action. Make a choice that you will no longer let your past define you. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? It's a plan for your future. What is it that you're wanting to achieve? I think I already said all of this. It's a constant when the cards come up match the lecture. Okay. And I'm trying not to lecture, but okay. It's brown on brown. I'm having a hard time seeing it. I think it says holding treasures. Okay. Dearest you, since you're on Earth, you understand how buildings are built. Yes. A good solid foundation and yet flexible too in cases of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can't offer anything sustainable unless it's built from a solid base, whether it be an idea that takes from one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation dug, poured, and built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in your foundation of your life effortlessly, as well as doing the general site check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know that you are building your own life on a perfect and sound foundation that will allow you to welcome the many miracles awaiting you to come visit. We are so happy for you, so integrated by what you're building. That is an interesting card. I don't remember ever reading this card before. And I've been through this deck, so I just not one that has came up very often, I guess. It's very interesting. So welcome to the program, and I'm so glad you've come in. And come join us on Saturday at 3 o'clock Pacific time. It's 3, 4, 5, 6 Eastern time. Do the math in the between. 5 o'clock Central. Anyway, 4 trends on. Hey, Gerald. I missed you yesterday. How are you doing? I hope you got a good nap. I hope you were running around with that lady I keep seeing you meeting. That becomes an extremely, extraordinarily good friend that you have so much in common with. And I don't know if it's a love interest or it's just an extraordinary person that meets you right in the right space. And thank you for your donation as well. I don't know why I looked, because I knew you put one in there. Okay. Let's use. I know you want a general. Here comes all the pentacles. How's the weather in Chicago? I hope you're having a warmer day than us. Our wind's been blowing about 10, 15 miles an hour. We had rain this morning, and we've dropped about 20 degrees. So we were in the 50s this morning, and we've made it up to a whole whopping 62 degrees, I think is what it is right now. Maybe it's warmed up. I don't know. I went out there a little while ago, and I decided to go out in the garage and smoke because it was too cold out there for me. Got my sweatshirt on today. Let's see what Mr. Weather Channel says for us today. Yeah, it's 65 out and cloudy. And as you can see, I got the snow. Oh, lot of glare. I guess you can't see my screen. Too much light. Yeah, too much light. Well, we've got a big launch from Sacramento down to Central California, and I'm in the Tulare area. Big heavy storms sneaking down the Central Valley of California. So, well, it looks like it may be dissipating. Hmm. Oh no, it broke up. They're getting it Fresno north and then it's dissipating. So I guess we got all our stuff, but it's cold. The wind's cold. That rain is coming out of the northwest. So it is colder. It's coming out of Canada, Washington, Oregon. So it's raining off and down the Pacific coastline, Pacific Northwest, down into California. Now, I don't complain about the rain. I grew up in Oregon. I love the rain, but I hate the dips in temperature. And anything under 72, and I'm cold. And I'm wanting to move to snow country, Maryland. That makes sense. I will get there. Okay, underlying card of the reading, of course, it's the Nine of Pentacles. So, financial success. Again, still, you are on a new journey. It's time to take that leap of faith into this new journey for this season. Of course, you're driving your own chariot. So you're speeding through the water, doing what you do, and you're doing it very successfully. You're the one that drives this chariot as you move forward in life. And you get the Action of Cups. This is that slow moving knight, but he's a steady moving knight. And this is bringing abundance towards you as a surprise. I'm being sarcastic. The first card coming into the reading, you get that Seven of Wands. You're always achieving, always ascending. You're moving, taking higher ground and moving into that light as you're moving through this period of time. You do this with strength, with creativity, with knowledge. You're moving with everything you've learned, and it allows you to rise up and achieve. Of course, it's followed by what else? The Ace of Pentacles. Yes, financial stability, the ability to bring in and achieve what you want. I love this card because it's sort of a Pisces feeling card, isn't it? With the koi fish bringing in abundance and wealth for you. Right in the center of the reading is your connection to the divine. You are highly spiritual and connected to the divine. You listen to your guts and you follow the energy of where they are leading to you. You believe in the faith of achievement, and this allows you to move very beautifully through life. And you exude this energy, of course. I always love reading for you because you always have these great, happy, energetic cards. Of course, you trust in your higher self. You make good decisions. You're connected. This is that connection to that divine energy. You take that guidance. You listen to your higher self. You don't follow the little whims of the smaller stuff that makes instant crackerjack decisions. This is the one you trust in your higher self, the knowledge. You do the work. You keep yourself informed and you stay in that light. And of course, that keeps you balanced and connected completely. And of course, the final card, the Judgment card. This is not judgment. This is not lawsuits or anything like that. This is that balance that you're always seeking and always achieving. So that is the thing that you look forward to is that financial investment, that moving forward in that success with that, but it's bringing balance to your life. So I always love your cards. I love your energies that's around you. And the note card from Spirit is, I hate it when they write in the same color as the card. You are beautiful. Well, this one's going to be hard. It's not a lot of contrast in it. Dearest you, all of your prayers are heard and mirrored back to you from the unseen realms. Be grateful. Praise things before they manifest, and always ask for the highest good. When you plead and beg, that will bring you only more reasons to plead and beg. Instead, offer your prayers as a sacred gift, as a treatment for you, for your faith in the higher power. Open up and let your spirits move through you and comfort you. Add meditation as a way to become empty so that you will be ready to be filled with inspirations. I can't figure out what this word is. Gosh, my dyslexia in my brain. Okay. Epiphanies. It's EPIPHANIES. Write it down on a piece of paper. Peace, understanding, and joy. I am not going to be able to put that word together. Sorry. None of my vocabulary. I probably know the word too if I hear it. Okay. In this moment, your prayers are being answered for the highest good for both you and all life. Sometimes what you pray for is not supposed to happen for you, and your prayers will be answered in surprising ways. At this moment, we are listening intently to your prayers and what you want to know, that it's your highest good is our priority. All is well. Okay. And I always say that, I don't think you're the type of person that's begging God for everything. I think you put out there trust and faith that you'll be guided in the right direction because you work in that highest good. You work in that higher energy. Let's see. It says, do I believe I'm worthy? That is the question. You are worthy, you are deserving, and you are loved. Start seeing the divine beauty within you and go out and claim your life you haven't dreamed up. Your crown has been bought and paid for. Put it on your head and wear it. Maya Angelou. That's a quote from Maya Angelou. Your crown has been bought and paid for. Put it on your head and wear it. I love that. I love Maya Angelou too. Okay, today's soul action. Bring a big goal or dream that you have. Ask yourself, do you feel worthy of this? Of course you do. Your mantra is, I am worthy of all. Okay, I like that. And I do believe you can achieve whatever you want to. Soulful Women, it says, self-belief. Self-belief is the magic key to opening up a better and more inspired future for me. I like that. Here she is. They teach you a bit. Surrender to procrastination. I think I'm the one that holds the trophy of procrastination. Now is time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Take action that will attract success. I'm curious, what kind of archetype card am I going to pull for you? No, it must be this one. The Seeker. Thought light attribute. A thirst for wisdom and the truth wherever they are. The shadow attributes, things you need to work on. The inability to commit to a path once found. I don't see you as a person that doesn't commit to the path you're on. I see you as being the one that's always seeking wisdom and following your truth. So you're a seeker. Love it. Okay. Love reading for you, Gerald. And I hope you have a really wonderful week. You're on that new journey right now, so take advantage of opportunities that are coming your way. I know you always do. And, you know, you are blessed. All right. Let me hit this card with a good shuffle. And I'm so glad you made it in today. And I need to go over and see who's snuck in the room. Oh, hey, Dean. My partner in crime. Somebody needs to send him a camera. He's just been so busy lately. He's got a full plate. I asked him if he wanted to come join me. He reminded me he doesn't have a working camera on it right now. Okay, next up is Brenda. My dear, dear friend Brenda. Love to talk to you. My way around my decks here. Well, the archetype of card I picked up for you today is the Hedonist. Hedonist, however you say it. And it says the light attributes are inspires creativity, energy, and embraces the good things in life, celebrates the beauty of yourself. The shadow side is pursuing pleasure to the detriment of health and indulging at the expense of others. That totally the shadow side is totally not you. Yeah, you definitely are the lighter side of this archetype. Inspires creativity, energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrates beauty of yourself. I like that. Surrender to your intuition. Oh, you wouldn't do that, would you? Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or moments that come through to guide you. I don't think I need to tell you that, did I? does well, we have one new person in the room. If you don't know Brenda, she is also a reader, and she's a very good mentor and friend of mine, and she is very connected. So I'm making a joke about the card. She doesn't need to surrender to her intuition. She lives in her intuition and her abilities. Okay. Soulful woman, quiet nourishes me. Oh, yes. We are both big meditators too, aren't we? And quiet nourishes me. It commits me to the power of the now. I like that. I find it. I've been sitting on the porch in front of that beautiful big tree. Mine, of course, is windy, so it's swaying and singing, and I'm so connected. I grew up in the forest, so trees speak to me somehow. And it says, on your soul truth, the question is, how can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? If you are if your compassion does not include yourself, it's incomplete. Today's soul action, and there is a list of 10 here, Brenda, says choose one self-care action today to do today. Set stronger boundaries. Meditate and listen to your heart. Speak to yourself with compassion. Focus on your strength. Say no to something that isn't a soul yes. Say yes to something that you are afraid of. Let go of what you cannot control. Stay far away from drama and negativity. And ask for help and allow it. Write down 3 things that you are grateful for. I think that's something you do on a daily basis anyways, isn't it? Is that gratitude. I try to think of something to be grateful for every day. And to note when somebody is also grateful, to recognize that they have made that put that out there. Because we don't always acknowledge people's gratitude. And your postcard from Spirit says, you are divine beauty. Dear you, a simple but powerful law of cause and effect means everything is in relationship. Every action on earth has a consequence. And even in a spirit world, there is consequences for every action taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set in motion by past decisions. Consequences are coming into being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition pays off. If some things are a little off or uncertain, know that whatever you are facing, you can step beyond it, and just by using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to what is being presented. Everything you think and do has far-reaching vibrations in the web of life. Move to the higher ground and have faith that what goes around comes around. The universe is always self-correcting. Anyways, isn't that amazing? How we adore you. Thank you for sharing all your blessed gifts with everybody, including me. And if you haven't caught Brenda Terrell, she does a Sunday program with Ann Ellis, and takes questions. She does personal questions. She's a phenomenal reader. She is also a Reiki master. She does private card readings. You can go to Brenda Tarot online or go to her website, and there's a link in there. Can't say enough good things about you, Brenda. I absolutely adore Brenda. So, anyways, I am so glad you came into the room, Brenda. And let me know when you have a chance to chat. I know you're busy. And looks like Dean is our last one. Leave the room, Dean. You need to buy that camera. I know. I heard it already. Just giving you a bad time. Everybody's missing you, Dean. Next time he comes on and gets his camera, he's going to be a whole new, different person. You guys should see him. He's losing weight. He's looking good, too. Which direction am I going here? Okay, the archetypal card I got for you is a visionary. Yes, you are quite the visionary, too. Also, you're a very good artist. It says the light attribute is the capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, the willingness to proclaim a vision without regard to personal gain. The shadow side of this archetype is selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Well, I know you really well. I don't think you work on the shadow side of this archetype. I think you're the visionary, the true visionary working out of the light with the capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. The willingness to proclaim vision without regard to personal gain. Yeah, you're a teacher. I mean, surrender to defensiveness. It says defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. I think that's a great piece of advice for us all. Soulful Women says, soul truths. I listen to my soul's simple truths and allow myself to unfold them naturally. Yes, listen to your inner self. It will lead you in the right direction. And the soul truth, the question is, am I communicating my needs? I know you do this. It says your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are feeling is not true? Today's soul action, journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe I'm losing my place, that my needs matter, and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what am I resisting and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs. Well, I know in career-wise, you've put it out there. The category of the postcard from Spirit is be fearless. Dearest you, sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there is always time that you might find yourself overgiving. Now might be a good time to check in and see what might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you, even if you are uncomfortable being, you are more comfortable being the generous and being the giver, the healer, the rescuer. In the art of living, we sometimes overlook the important skill of receiving gracefully with gratitude without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerabilities or bringing on an agenda of equality to it. Receiving is hard for some people. Maybe you. You do not need a this for that in your exchange with others. You are doing good in the world. Let the world give back and support you. And then you can give up the old stories that have you convinced that you have to do everything alone with no help. Let your well be filled. We all love you so much. So I love you, Dean. I miss you coming on the program with me, but I know you got a full plate right here. You got a senior finishing up the school year. You're looking forward to summer school and then the vacay. Yeah, he's going on a cruise after school's out, after school and summer school's out. Do you see me being jealous? Except for I go to Alaska, not a hot islands, but redheads don't go to big, hot, sunny places for vacation. Day one sunburn doesn't work for me. Anyways, thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming in. You guys have a beautiful, wonderful week. And I will see you next Saturday. I hope the energy for everybody has stabilized. We're not living in that fear energy. Tune out of the news for a while. Don't spend more than 5 or 10 minutes a day looking at the news and shut it off and live in the now. Don't live in that fear energy that the president of the United States thinks he needs to dish out on a platter. When you're shopping, pick up a few extra items along the way. Don't go crazy, I don't see Armageddon coming. I don't see food. I think we may have some shortages in some areas of food, but I don't see starvation, famine, and no goods at all in the market. I think we may have less choices. Like I encourage everybody to grow a little garden of things that you like. If you like to eat tomatoes, grow some tomatoes. They're really easy to grow. Potatoes, things like that, really easy to grow. There's all kinds of home gardening tips on YouTube, so take time to look at some of those. You can create yourself a quick little garden with very little space, even on a patio space, or even in a small, if you live in a condominium, you have a very small little backyard, you can put a garden in, and you don't have to have big equipment or fancy tools or anything. Gardening is really easy. Plus, it connects you to Gaia, to Earth. It will help you stay grounded. I love you all, and I will see you next week on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And do connect with Brenda's Tarot on Sundays. Her and Ellis, their program is at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Pacific Time. Blessings to you all, and I will see you all next week. Have a great week.